Welcome back to the Untold, and I'm really happy that we are gonna have a radio host, Ahmed.
Yes, he has been doing it for a long time. He has a
99.7.
great, yes, 99.7.
You probably heard his
I believe
voice.
it's the most popular channel in Kuwait, I would say.
Like radio
know.
station in English, yeah, this
Yeah,
is
it's
probably
very,
the most
very
popular. And if you probably wouldn't recognize his face, but you will recognize his
that
voice,
from the
definitely.
Weekender. Nour
Najdy.
Najdy will be joining us right next. We're back on the show, welcoming our very special guest. Perhaps a stranger television-wise, but not a stranger radio-wise. Or have you done TV interviews?
I have done one interview with the TV in Hala, Kuwait.
Oh,
Channel
nice.
2.
Okay, nice.
That
nice,
was
nice.
definitely interesting to have an interview there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our very special guest, KTV Zone, or should I say, 99.7 Zone,
Nour
Nour
Najdy.
Nour
Najdy.
Najdy,
Welcome on
yes.
the show.
It's
Thank
nice
you.
to have you on the show.
Pleasure's all mine.
The first thing I can tell, you can hear the tone of his voice. It's-
Radio voice.
Yeah, radio
you.
voice. I mean, you have that perfect tone for radio. So
Appreciate
let's
that.
begin with an introduction about yourself. Tell us who is Nour Najdy is.
How long
and
ago did you start?
Just, I want to get to
Just
know
a
you
brief.
today.
Just a brief.
Okay.
Well, after graduation from college, if you want to start from there, I always had the idea of doing something with my voice because everywhere I go, I keep hearing the word, your voice, your voice. So, great. What's the next step is one of two things. We have to, financially be ready to go somewhere where I can actually broadcast and do this. Back then, and I'm not saying I'm old, but just back then, it was different because you need to know somebody and reach somebody in a radio station. In Egypt, it wasn't really that helpful. So I traveled to Dubai, and that's when I had my first opportunity to interact with Virgin Radio, or one of the radio stations in Dubai, basically. And I had the opportunity to use my voice as in advertising. And then
You have that voice for
I-
advertising.
You
yeah,
have that, like,
It was very weird because I most of the ads were basically watches, pens, ties, and cars.
Interesting. Ties?
how do you promote
didn't-
ties?
I have no idea how.
Maybe they have a sale going on.
Yeah, tie and غطرة and
Okay, nice,
stuff like
nice.
that. Yes.
Is it? Do you think it's the how deep your voice is? Do they,
Not
the
just how
radio
deep.
goes for that deep voice, I guess.
The radio is a very challenging occupation. I'm not going to really call it a job. Because
Okay.
unfortunately nowadays a job is something that you have to do, or a lot of people think that they have to
True.
do this. But this is basically a responsibility. When you're on the radio, people can't see you.
Right.
People can't know your reaction. People can't see what you're talking about unless you send the message.
So you have to
perfectly.
use your voice to send
Your
that
voice.
message. That's what I was saying.
Yes.
Yeah, the
and
voice is the only thing you can rely on in terms of radio.
Yeah, on TV you can use your face to
Communication.
express, and
Yeah.
you tell people, "Oh my God, this is happening." But on the radio, it doesn't matter where you do your face. You have to.
It's like voice acting.
Sound.
Yeah.
It's voice acting.
It
voice
basically is, and some people are just born with that talent. Some people need
Have you
practice.
tried voice acting?
Yes, I did. I do some voice acting for books. I do some voice actings for gaming.
Gaming?
Because, yes, I am a gamer.
Okay.
Yes. So I look like a grown man, but from inside, I'm actually 10-year-old. So basically, I play a lot.
Real men play video games, okay?
Yes. Hey, when the apocalypse comes, the gamers are gonna be the survivors.
You gotta survive a zombie apocalypse?
Oh yeah.
How
Oh,
do you-
yeah.
Can't wait.
What is that related to gaming?
Because we know how to shoot
Gamers
zombies.
only, yeah.
With a
mean,
controller.
Backpack.
I watch zombie movies.
knee pads.
Yeah, that works.
I know the
rollers,
basics of survival.
Okay.
You know,
Canned food. Just
we know
stock
what
up
to
canned
do.
food.
Tuna, a lot of tuna.
All right, it's not The Walking Dead. We're back on the Untold. voice acting, video games. Are you voice acting in a video game?
Yes, I did voice acting for a couple of video games
What
that
video
are
games?
nothing fancy, nothing well
Well,
known
it's still
at all.
fancy. It's a video game.
Yes, but I was basically asked to say a couple of sentences regarding opening areas and closing
Okay,
areas
okay.
and use your voice in saying these words. And also use it to be the villain in one of the lines in the game. So this is
Nice.
how I do this as voice acting. But going back to your original question, as a job for radio, I tend to believe that I am doing something that I love and enjoy, and not everybody has that chance. It is
True.
really competitive because to the reason why I'm doing this is I want to make the person who is driving the car in the middle of the traffic in
Enjoy
that
this time.
heat
Yeah.
of our country right now, he would listen to somebody. I know that he can just put on a song on a phone, but if he listened to me accidentally by once, or a word of mouth spreads around and he listened to me, he will have a good time just for a little while. I want him to think that I'm sitting next to him. I'm his friend. I'm hanging out with you. We're just hanging out.
That's the beauty of.
I'm
the
talking to you.
thing, Yeah.
And we are all in the radio
I love
station.
how you describe it.
We're different. Everyone as a talk show host is different than the other. Maha, she is the expert. She's been there for years and years and years and years. So when she presents on the radio show, her drive back in the afternoon, she's very professional. She's a British accent broadcaster. This is a whole different vibe. But for me, I want to talk to the common man who is working hard in this junk food joint and putting his earplug just to listen to me. And I want to send him a positive message. So I'm picking up on subjects on weekends, which is my show, that try to provide a message to whoever is listening, and at the same time to keep them attracted to what I'm talking about and integrated with me and interacting. How do they interact? They pick up the phone and they call. They give me a call.
So you mentioned something about people using their phones to listen to music. How does that affect radio stations? Because we used to get our music from radios. Now we just
Right.
use phones.
Now it's a whole different vibe from how it used to be back in the 80s and back in the 70s. Back in the 70s and the 80s, radios was everywhere, and even I'm going to go further than that. World War One, World War Two, radio was the main to go to listen to know what's going on, all the
True,
way up
true.
to the late 90s. Sure, nowadays it's different. I can listen to any song I want. But let's be real here. In the Middle East where we are, it's not really easy to listen to English music or any kind of music without being careful of what you're listening to, because it doesn't really go custom hand in hand with
So you're
how we
saying
are.
when it's radio in our country, it's more not censored but filtered
It
to
has
deliver clean,
It
good
is
music.
censored and filtered. I've heard some of the music on 99.7. They usually censor it, filter it, they alter it, in more of clean versions of.
Yes,
Yeah.
we try to trim the
Right.
song as much as we can to suit our audience, and at the same time to suit our authorities and
Right,
traditions
right.
and whatnot.
Which is
Now,
amazing.
it's just a quick question about this process. Does the music or the artist contribute to this censorship, let's call it? Do they know what's happening?
Have you heard
Because
the
with movies,
clean
they have
versions?
to approve. With music, do they have to approve?
Not really, because I
No.
heard it on the radio. They don't really change words or anything. They just blur them off, or
We filter them and trim them. Basically, we either cover them up or just cut them out.
make
if we
them
can.
blurry. They sound
But
a
that
little
means
blurry.
that there is a dedicated person listening to
Right.
every single song in the library
Wow.
to understand and cut off the necessary and how to trim it.
I think it's fun though. Imagine your job listening to music and just
Not if you're doing that for 35,000 songs.
45,000
35,000
songs.
songs. I mean,
How fresh and new the music is on the radio.
From the Billboard charts, it's extremely fresh. Always we're bringing in the brightest, the newest Billboard chart songs, which is definitely my favorite genre of music. I'm lying. This is definitely not my vibe. I don't like this music at all. But
Which is?
which is the Billboard music?
Oh, okay. Do you mean the
Taylor
mainstream
Swift.
music you don't
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, I don't like. Well, because I'm a boomer, and we tend to stick to our own style of music, if you will.
What is that?
Starting from I don't know, from the
Pop.
no, I'm going all the way
He's
back.
going
I'm
all the
starting
way
from
to
Frank
the other.
Sinatra, Dean Martin,
Yeah,
going all the way
that's
to
what I figured he would be into.
Black Sabbath,
Classic.
Iron Maiden, Metallica. I'm going all the genres. Tupac, Biggie
Okay.
Smalls. You know where I'm going with this?
But
Yeah.
they've been on the
Classics.
Billboard.
Sure, for a minute. Take a look at Taylor Swift. She has 10 songs
Taylor
on the
Swift's
Billboard
everywhere,
charts.
everywhere.
That's an example. Kanye
Yeah.
West goes
Come
on the
on,
Billboard
Taylor
charts.
Swift is
Nicki
good.
Minaj goes on Billboard charts. Are they going for the Billboard charts for the song, or are you going for the video?
I don't really go for the video. I just go for the song. I barely see any music videos, honestly.
Right.
I honestly go for the lyrics. Honestly.
It depends on my mood, though. It depends on how I'm feeling at that time when I decide to listen to a song. I just look for a song that suits more my mood.
That is why you usually, back in the day, I'm going to take a quick example, Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Okay.
Michael Jackson, back when he was young, right, he made his debut album, Thriller. And
True.
Thriller is the bestseller
It's a
album
hit. It was a
of
hit.
all time
True.
up
Wow.
till this second as we speak. And that album was made in the 80s. The video
You're
clip
saying that's the most selling
Yes.
album ever?
ever,
Really?
up till this second.
Huh.
Please check my information.
We'll-
I might be losing
do
it.
you-
But
yeah.
it's true. It's true as far as I remember. So
Okay.
that video clip in the 80s, mind you, cost $6 million to create.
Well, it's all for Michael, I guess. Oh.
That's a lot of money
Yeah.
for a video clip back in
Right.
the 80s.
Oh, the budget for the music video,
Thank you.
Thriller,
Yes.
was $6 million?
Yes, sir. Give or take.
But when I
Okay.
watched it, it didn't seem like it needed that much money to be
Yeah,
made. Or
it's
maybe back
the
then it was different.
makeup,
I'm not sure.
You're
The
looking
makeup-
at it,
$6 million back then, not now. So it's more.
and you're looking at it now, right?
Right.
Look at it from the 80s.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
Now when I look
crazy
at it, I'm
spending.
like, I could have done this with video.
All right, so you're talking about what? Choreography, makeup,
makeup.
clothing, music.
Yeah, choreography was
stage,
basically
people.
that famous
Yeah,
wolf dance,
that was
right?
nothing, right? That was
That-
easy to
that
come up
is-
with, right?
That is up until this moment. So back then, it wasn't easy to become famous. The radio is your gateway or stairway to heaven, as
Yeah, I know the
ready?
song. Wait,
Okay.
who sang it?
Stairway to Heaven. Hello.
Okay.
No, okay. Well,
Okay.
it's a very famous song
Yeah, of
for,
course.
for the guys out there.
Out there.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the only way to listen to. But the main thing is that they don't listen to the songs nowadays. They listen to us. So it's very important when you come to the radio. You, even if you have a bad day, just like you guys do.
Yeah, you put a smile on your face, and
No, not really a smile.
I mean that's what I do at my job. I have to put a smile on my face, but
I have to put a face on my face when I come to the studio, because I need to make sure that I am on this microphone to somebody else make his day better.
You check your issues at the door. You
Leave him outside,
him
just like you
outside.
said.
You
Come
turn
in
into, you get into the zone.
And I
basically.
do, by the way, clap, but not just like yours, because your clap is very awkward, actually. It's just like everybody's quiet and you're just like going clapping. But for me, I'd be like, yeah, let's go, let's go. And the sound engineer
That's
would be like,
different
hey,
you're not
purposes.
you're
That's
not
very
really used to
different
TV. Anyway,
Yes.
let's take a quick
Yes,
break,
quick break.
and then we'll be right back.
All right. We're back on the Untold, continuing on our conversation with Nour Najdy, our resident radio host here for 99.7. Have you done different channels as well?
No, I usually stick to one channel because I'm not a multitasker. Only women can multitask. But let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Ahmed. Regarding your work, how if you were in a different genre or a different age or different year, do you think you would have been much different in a lifestyle, or you would be exactly who you are if you were born in the 60s and you were presented by this opportunity?
Wow, back in the 60s and a television host?
Yes.
How would I have
I think in Kuwait you're
done
probably
things
wearing
at that
Dasha
time?
right now,
Yeah, probably.
and
I don't know. That's a
So
very
fans are gonna be
and we
outside.
wouldn't be
Interesting
sitting
question.
right here. You'd probably be doing something really formal,
Uh-huh.
and that's what I would imagine.
I don't know, back in the 60s,
I'm not
what
sure
would
if
I be
women were
doing?
TV presenters back then.
Could you been sitting right here and actually doing this?
I think no. They even have podcasts back then. I don't think
No.
they didn't have
No, no,
podcasts.
Well, we
I don't
didn't
think so.
even have, yeah, we did have television back then.
And did they even have women presenters?
We did have television.
That's the question. Like, would you be even sitting here and talking to me like this?
I'll probably be doing some desk job.
Desk job.
It depends on
Go
because
desk.
I haven't.
It's the 60s. I think you were in the kitchen.
Yes.
Why
Oh,
would you mention the
blender.
kitchen though?
Well,
No, that was so
since
misogynistic.
we're bringing-
It was the 60s.
He
I
has a
did not
point, by the
create
way. Hey,
history,
listen.
ladies and
But
gentlemen.
Yes, you did.
in the 60s, I think no, women used to have jobs. I mean,
Yeah?
especially in Kuwait, women in the 60s had really good jobs as teachers and.
I don't know how to answer that question, honestly.
But
I know,
I
I
haven't
know,
seen
it's-
TV in the 60s. I was born in the 90s. So.
You haven't seen the TVs in the 60s. You should have. But let me turn to you. Ask you a question. I want to ask you if there's a theme song, or if you will, soundtrack for your life, what would that be?
I want that question.
Okay, you
Alright.
answer it because I have to
You
think
want
about
that
this.
question. Let him take the question.
Thunder. Easy.
Thunderstruck by AC/DC?
Sure. That's exactly who I meant.
Of course, that's what you meant. Okay, well, we're not. Is that what he meant, really? Okay. Thunder. The sound of thunder is actually, yes. that's
The
something
sound of
interesting.
thunder. I like hearing it. The
Right.
sound of thunder.
For you, what it would be? A soundtrack of your life.
I don't know. My life is.
Your life. You know who you are, right? What is the soundtrack of you? If you
Why
want to
does
say
that
this
feel
is
like
me,
I'm being?
I have a deep answer with that thunder song, but yeah, keep going.
Okay.
No, no.
Keep
You
going.
answer that. I still have to think it. Like my life is. I don't know. Like my life is.
which song?
Which song is your
Which
life?
song?
Exactly.
Song.
Which song is your life?
I listen to all kinds of music, so I don't know if I can't pick one. I listen to English music, Arabic music, I
Right.
listen to Indian music. So
Maybe
it's
men
hard
are
for me
more
to choose.
decisive than women.
No,
No?
women take their time. Listen, I have. Don't get into this territory. It's very.
Yeah, don't get there.
Don't get into this territory.
don't get
You
Yeah.
went enough with the kitchen though.
Exactly. But going back to the subject of
Yes.
I'm gonna flip this really quickly. But since we mentioned the kitchen,
Since, do I need to make a sandwich here?
who guys do you think is the most successful?
Chef?
It's
Chef.
a man. That's a man.
Thank you.
Yes.
So unfortunately,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
you should be in the kitchen,
We
not
are
me.
the one who should be in the kitchen. There we go.
I
Now
do
you can
enjoy
clap.
cooking. I do enjoy cooking.
Now we can clap if you want
Yes.
to. But yes, we
Yes.
are the men. We should be in the
We
kitchen
should be in the
because we
kitchen.
know how to cook.
We do know how to cook.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Make me a sandwich.
But going back to the radio subject,
You owe me basbousa still. But anyway,
I'm in on that if you want.
I want to go back to the radio world. How do you see streaming affecting the radio world? Everything is now stream this song, stream this podcast, stream this radio show. What is? Are we losing fan base or listeners in the radio in the age of the internet?
Unfortunately, we cannot stop the
Evolution?
the hands of time or the technology. Things are going to keep moving forward
Right.
from now on, just like it did back in the day in the World War II, and after that, after that. And now we are working on AI to
Right.
be independent, and to actually develop
Replace
AI.
us.
Or that.
I mean, you have a show where you replace.
well,
I mean, I do have a
Something,
show
yeah.
where I actually interact with AI.
Yep.
But the question, I guess, is I think, or a statement, I think just like everything advances, I think radio will advance as well.
It has adapted, I think, to the
It
trends.
will. I mean, with time, it wouldn't be your classical radio,
are we talking
environment.
about Kuwait radio, or are we talking
General.
about in general? Okay, because if we're talking about in general, radio has to be there no matter what happens in the world. It is our, fallback plan. no matter what
Because when the
happens,
internet goes out, you can still listen
if
to the radio.
something goes out, the
Yeah,
radio still
radio is
goes
Who
always
out.
has
there.
radios? Who has traditional radios in their homes nowadays?
What happens in the movies when you
You have to go to the market and get one just in case for emergencies.
like? Here's the thing. What's a perfect comedy action scene for you when you watch an action shooting vehicle moving fast and there is an elevator song running in the radio or
Yeah.
a song by
It gives you that creepy moment
UB40,
sometimes.
like, one of those old songs, and they are shooting out of the vehicle. The radio is making that funny scene.
True.
So one of the points is that radio will always be in our minds and in our lives,
It's our
no matter
fallback,
what.
I would say.
It's definitely a fallback, strategy. If God forbid AI does what it does, which I suggest for you to read a book called Scary Smart, released
Scary
by
smart.
yeah,
Or just watch iRobot. Same thing. But
or
I did-
or Terminator.
Terminator
I,
is
I
worse.
just seen a movie. I forgot what it was called. It's a new movie about robots being smart and emotional, and they become.
Black Mirror.
No,
That's a
it's a
show.
movie. It's not a show.
movie.
All right.
I forgot. I'll check it out later. I'll let
Oh,
you
you're
know.
talking about Megan.
Ah,
Megan
that's-
is Megan is a doll.
it's
with,
like Chucky.
Megan
but
is
different.
amazing.
no,
I
Megan
love
is
no,
a
no, it's a
robot
movie
Chucky.
about where
hang
in the
out with Megan
future
all
where robots are more emotional, they're
Right.
interactive, and they cry and they have babies, and
Whoa,
it's
oh.
insane.
Oh, that's a different movie. That's a whole different movie. No, I can't remember
Since
that
we're
one.
talking about shows, I wanted to mention again Chat KTV2.
Yeah,
You're doing fun things with it, but how's the experience just dealing with an AI?
I'm
In
not
your
really
head.
talking
In
to
your
him,
head.
and it's in
I
my
know
head.
it's in your
Yeah,
head.
it's like a chroma. Like you're basically
But
talking to
do you
yourself.
think it's fun doing something like that?
It is fun. I like doing something different. I like experimenting.
Wouldn't you rather have an actual co-host than
I
an
have one right
artificial
now.
one?
And he's a misogynistic
So what's the
person.
difference? What's the difference between him?
One thing that I'm not.
What's the difference between him and the AI?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm interacting. Right now, I'm interacting with my co-host. I'm laughing. You get these feelings, emotions, but once you are interacting with AI, you're just stone cold sitting there and like, yeah, AI, tell me more about whatever you're doing. And then you basically have to pretend that you're talking to someone. It's basically play pretend game. And
So, are you telling me that if they added consciousness to the AI, which is
it would be scary.
feelings that you're saying,
Scary.
That would be scary.
it's going to happen eventually. So, if that happens,
But I
or
don't think
when
there'll be
that
real
happens,
feelings, stimulated feelings. It's simulated. It's not
that's
going to be
I'm going to go to the question of define real.
real. It's what humans feel. It becomes from the brain, like whatever chemistry that we have in the brain, whatever experiences that we have in life. Growing up in different environments that affects us growing up. But when we
Well,
talk about
some certain things in life are real to you that are not real to me, and vice versa.
I know, but it's still real because
Right.
I grew with these experiences. I live, I die, I'm human. But with AI, it's
Let's see where
just,
he was trying to go with that question.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is that the statistics show that more than 30% or more than 35% of one of the biggest franchises in United States, and this franchise is a food company.
Okay.
Okay.
We all know it, but this company laid off more than 35% of its employees
Because of automation.
because of automations and AI. You don't need humans anymore. All you have to do is just did,
I
and
mean,
your
didn't that
order's ready.
happen before when they started inventing machines and they started inventing?
Yeah, but now it's going to take even more jobs.
Yeah, that's what I'm
banks
saying.
won't have employees.
That's like happened before and it's
imagine
happening
that.
again. So we're just talking about technology, doing jobs, but we're not talking about actual feelings, growing up, making families. It's different. So I don't
So-
think.
Let me
You
ask
don't
you
see
this.
it evolving into
I think it's
consciousness?
gonna eventually. It's not into a consciousness. Come on, I
You
mean,
need to
No?
watch more sci-fi.
I do. That's the
because
thing.
because let me just break it down for you. It actually can develop consciousness.
How, though?
Here's a
Do you
quick
have good
information.
theories?
Are we gonna-
No, not theories. Actual.
Feels like
and real.
iRobot.
No, actually, the ex-CEO of a very big company, an internet company, he was assigned to a project that he was managing AI experimenting, and the AI was supposed to pick one item from a big circle, like a square, a circle, or something, and the AI failed to pick any of them. After 2 weeks, the AI started to pick one, and the rest of the AIs failed to pick that item. 2 days later, the rest of the AIs picked up the same item.
They learned,
Yes.
basically. But again, to create the AI, you need humans. Are we
No.
going to reach to a point where AI make themselves?
Well, the interesting part is that actually the code was not changed. Humans did not interact. Humans did not change anything. AI just educated itself.
Educate, but can they make themselves? Can they create themselves?
Well, if you integrate that with our jobs, they can definitely replace me in any moment. Not to mention that now there are AI lawyers.
AI
Effective.
lawyers.
Yes, effectively, by the way.
If, oh,
Okay.
okay.
Something
Well,
I want
I'm
to look
glad I'm
into
not
tonight
So
on
you
YouTube.
might want to have a lawyer
Yeah.
as an AI, and it's true. It is actually effective, and it's very soon going to be approved by the FDA, because Elon Musk got the approval from the FDA to start experimenting on.
Oh.
Oh, Elon Musk has chips he's experimenting too.
So, what is the best part about presenting when it comes to TV, radio, whatever? Presenting is, I don't know. People look. The thing is, when people think of TV presenters, they think we're out there because we want to get famous. We want our pictures to be, everywhere. But I think it's more of it's something in you once you're like talking to your audience, once you're on camera or on the radio. What makes it special, and how does it feel? Like, how is it rewarding to you?
I want to say about presenters. When you mentioned the word presenters, there's two different categories. There
Okay.
are the presenter that has the script ready to go for you to just say it, repeat the words, go home, repeat.
Yeah, that's not my thing.
This is one thing.
Yeah.
The other presenter that the one you're trying to talk to is basically the host or the person who is here for a reason.
Interactive.
Interactive with the audience. I'm here to say something for the person who is either listening or seeing. And that reason is for you to decide, what do you want to leave your audience with? Do you want to leave them with a new message? Do you want to leave them with an informative message? Do you want to be an actual influencer? Not like the ones we're seeing nowadays. Do you want... Yes,
Not like
you
the
know,
ones we see nowadays.
those.
You're looking at me. Okay.
No, because you had that, that
Yeah.
smile on your
Yes.
face.
Okay. So basically, you need to think about the message that you want to leave and open the subject that you want to leave your audience with. Happy, positive, and looking forward for the next day.
All right, thank you for being with us. I think we need a part 2, 3,
Yeah,
4 out
this
of
was a
this.
fun chat.
This is
This
fun.
is amazing. I would love to try radio on your show.
Yeah,
I've been
by all
wanting to
means.
do
Yeah,
that.
I want to do that.
One for one.
Hey,
Alright.
take
Mine.
me. Don't forget me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
we'd love to have you again. Thank you for being with us.
it's my
What is
pleasure.
the name of the show that you do? Sorry.
My show is called The Weekender.
The Weekender.
The Weekender. and
Weekends?
hence, it's Thursday and Friday
Thursday and Friday.
from 7 till 9 p.m.
PM.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes, and usually I pick up topics that is interesting for the listeners, something fresh, light, and at the same time, the music playlist, I usually pick up something away from the Billboard charts.
Okay,
All right, cool.
perfect.
Well, tune into 99.7 and check out Nour Najdy, and we'll be back for the wrap up. What a fun episode. Time flew by, honestly.
Yeah,
We
it
talked
was
of so many different subjects: music, radio, zombies, AI,
Zombies.
kitchen.
You really think you could survive a zombie apocalypse just because you play a few video games? Trust me, you're not gonna be hitting
I didn't
buttons.
make that claim. He did. I
Okay.
was just joking.
Okay.
And when we are in a zombie apocalypse, I'll just be in a bunker. Just be a
Do you have a
bunker.
bunker? Why?
Oh, you don't have a bunker?
I don't have a bunker.
Come on, the apocalypse is coming. You should have a bunker.
I don't believe there's an apocalypse coming anytime soon.
All right, let's wrap it up here. We'll see you in the next episode with a brand new guest and more
Yeah.
stories to share right here on the Untold.
Good night.
Good night.